Red roses too. Thank you. Recording in progress. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, the brightest day and the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the skies, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Indeed, a wonderful world. Good morning, Yaron.
Good morning. The recording has started.
I know Robert would have said that earlier, and he was letting that he sent us a text that his Zoom connection dropped, and so I hit it for him. I apologize for interrupting your song. I
Oh,
realized after I did it, I should have waited till the song was complete, but it was it
it,
was just a natural, spontaneous reaction. We'll
it was
speak
a
of
part of the
spontaneity.
song.
Exactly. So thank you for being here this morning.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I'm sure, as most of our community knows, we had John Randall scheduled for today, and he had laptop troubles and was unable to link in, and you stepped up and did so. And so please know that that's very much appreciated on all our parts. And of course, we love having you here. So it's so great to have your own in the house, even though it appears you're overlooking some lake in Zurich, Switzerland. so, so let's all appreciate Yaron Spiwak, ladies and gentlemen, and he will be back with us this morning as we continue our service here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Los Angeles. I'm Reverend Dr. Keith Cox, and it's my pleasure to welcome you into our virtual home. We're back solely virtual this week, and after being in person again last week, and we will be in person again June 12th. And so we're looking to do that once a month in person. And when not in person and Zooming, then we'll be back online each and every Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, actually 9:56 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, until that changes for each and every one of you. So a good morning to all of you, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Los Angeles. We come together on Sunday mornings to be in community, meaning to commune together in that space of mind, of heart, and of soul. As a community, we have come together for over 30 years here in the land of Los Angeles, California, with the purpose and intention to awaken to our spiritual magnificence, and in so doing, give that, share that, explain, share that, and expose that, if you will, to all other expressions of life, so that the spiritual magnificence that we each have within us is propagated, it's multiplied, it's enhanced, and it is honored by each and every individual. And so I welcome you into our virtual home today. I'm going to put on the screen our welcoming slides, and there will be a slide-oriented day today. And so we at the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles support individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. That is indeed our vision statement for our community. And so today I invite you to open your mind, your heart, your soul, your being to you, not only your individualized nature, but to tune into a spiritual awakening, to hear something either anew or renewed today in a new way. And may that provide for you a space in your being where you become more and more empowered to yourself, your individualized state of the one thing itself. We like to open our service on Sunday mornings with the act of namaste. Namaste is a Sanskrit word, an action word that literally means I bow to you. It's not an act of supplication, it's an act of honoring the power, the presence, the thing itself, as Ernest Holmes calls it, within each and every one of us. So I invite us to take a deep breath in together. And as we exhale, bring our awareness of our awareness into this present moment. And inhaling again. And as we exhale, let's bring our hands together in prayer position, continuing to exhale, placing on our chest, closing your eyes if that feels comfortable. Bringing into our mind's eye the visual of those who are on our service today, live via Facebook and or through Zoom, and or at a later date through our website and or YouTube. As we feel the power and the presence of that thing within us, that source of life, we lean forward, saying namaste, that thing within me salutes that within you, the spirit of life. And may we all be more present in our presence to our awareness of the oneness that we share. As a community, we welcome all races, all religions, all countries of origins, all sexual orientations, all genders, all abilities. For we stand with you, meaning we align with you, we honor you, we are you, and you're safe here to express the totality of your individuality and your uniqueness to the world. And so we welcome one and we welcome all into this community, this home, this space whereby we honor the oneness of life itself. We open our Sunday mornings with a ritual called Calling in the Light. When in person, we're doing that a bit different right now, but while online, I'd like for us to keep it in this vein and allow it to be a reminder and a remembrance of the light that exists within us. As we perform this ritual, this ceremony, to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, we remember that we call that power itself spirit. And the purpose of this ritual is to draw into our gathering this morning a more conscious awareness of our oneness and the qualities that we each possess as complete expressions of the divine. Once again, repeating the act of breathing where we inhale and exhale, staring at the flickering flame of the candle. We may become ever more aware of the ability to transform and change through life itself. The prayer that I have on the screen by Josa Silver is change me. Once again, we look at prayer and as a spiritual mind treatment, a state of affirmation, not supplication. And so when we hear this morning, please align with it in a state of affirming, of declaration. Divine Beloved, change me into someone who can give with complete ease and abundance, knowing that you are the unlimited source of all. Let me be an easy, open conduit for your prosperity. Let me trust all of my own needs are always met in amazing ways, and it's safe to give freely as my heart guides me. And equally, please change me into someone who can feel wildly open to receiving. Let me know my own value, beauty, and worthiness without question, and let me allow others the supreme pleasure of giving to me, and let me feel worthy to receive in every possible way. For I am you, you are me, we are one, and all is well. Once again, taking a deep breath in and exhaling, let's affirm and anchor in this prayer by singing together the song Calling in the Light. Yaron will come on the screen and take us through that. The lyrics for the call and response are on the screen.
Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light, your love. Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light, oh love. I am love, I am peace in my heart, I am free, I am spirit, I am soul, all together we are whole. Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light, oh love. Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light, oh love. Calling in the light, oh love. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is.
And so I affirm and declare that for each and every one of us, we are aligned, we are in tune, we are awake, we are aware to the power and the presence of the only thing itself. And so it's through this awakening that we receive today more and more of the good that is ours inherently to experience. This is not about material things, it's about an awakening of consciousness. And so we open, we align, we affirm, we receive, and we give and stay in the flow of good. And we let it be as we say together, amen, and so it is. Thank you, Yaron, for that beautiful version of Calling in the Light. So, speaking of light, I know that you have a beautiful song to sing for us. In rehearsal this morning, it was so tranquil and loving and touching, called I Am Light.
Yeah, I Am Light by NDRE.
Ah, so beautiful. So I invite you all to just bathe in the presence of this beauty of this song and the lyrics and the energy behind it.
I the mistakes that I have made. I am not the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left inside. I am light. 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 I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race, my soul inside. I am light. All is light. I am light. I am light. Oh, I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star. I am a piece of it all. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light.
Oh, so touching.
Yeah.
And I love just the continuation of I am light. I am light. Not only not what I am not, but what I am. You know, and the acronym that I like to use for light is living in God's healing truth. So just in that affirmation and of that, it's so true.
I also like that I'm feeling light.
Right. It's
Yeah.
both the lightness as looking at it through the context of weight, right, or but also light as that presence, right? The presence of it. So the very thing that causes light to give that gives light. So wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
You did yourself proud as well as India Ari.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you, Yaron. And so we're going to move into our message this morning as I put the screen up to continue on our theme this month, which is to pray, play, and to slay. Just a reminder that it's an invitation and an instruction to invoke into the awareness, the power, the presence that is within us, the light itself. To play, meaning to have fun in this process of tuning into our power and using it on a daily basis and awakening to the spiritual magnificence within us that is the presence and the power of life itself. And then to slay, meaning to do it to the best of our ability, to do it at the highest vibrational frequency possible. The question for today is, are you ready to grow? And I know that for each of us, the answer to that is both inherently yes, as well as yes, humanly. And at the same time, there may be some growth fatigue that is taking place in life, just with all of what's going on in life itself today. And so I invite us all today to remember that we are indeed on a journey, the journey of life that we've declared as a vision statement, one of finding personal self empowerment through a spiritual awakening. But the most important thing to remember here is that it all takes place on the journey. And I remember from years ago working with a business coach and a personal coach that constantly told us to remember that it's about the journey, not the destination. And so the key element to that approach mentally in life is to remember that the destination, the outcome, the experiences that we shall have in life will be a reflection of how we choose to show up on the journey as we go through this journey of life itself. And to do that to the best of our ability, without judging ourselves, without judging others, without being harsh on ourselves, but simply allowing the power and the presence to make itself known to us in a newer way, with every thought and action and reaction and interaction with life itself to the best of our ability. And when we may not rise to the occasion that we think we should, that judging once again, to release and let go and to lean back into the rhythm of co-creation, to lean into the opening of our mind, to remember, just as the song that was just shared with us by Yaron by means of India Ari, is that we're not any of these physical things in life, that we are one with that transcendent power that is greater than all of them and is cause to each and every one of those experiences. To lean into the spiritual wisdom that already exists within each and every one of us, no matter where we're at on our journey of finding our personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. Ernest Holmes, the founder of the teaching of the science of mind, reminds us in this quote to remember that the mechanical laws of nature are set and immutable, but the spontaneous recognition of these laws give us the power to bring them into practical use in everyday life and experience. That's the very thing I was just speaking of when we forgive ourselves and open back up. To remember that the laws themselves are responding, they're set, they're going to correspond to our state of being. And so in the most spontaneous way possible, we align ourselves with them and remember that we're not the things in form. Albert Einstein tells us that concerning matter, we've had it all, we have been all wrong. What we've called matter, that which is tangible in life, is really only energy, whose vibration has been lowered as to be perceptible to the senses. So there is no matter, there's only light and sound. And so should we desire to have a different experience of the physical matter in life itself, it's incumbent upon us. We must be responsive to an awakening, and that awakening is by tuning into the understanding that it's all just vibrational activity, energy. And so we get to tune into choosing which energetic vibration we want to be, of light and sound, and releasing that out, emanating that out into the universe, knowing that it shall return to us. And so we skipped that slide that I want us to go back to, because I think it's so important for us to look at this. Of there are times in life, and I know I've certainly had this experience this week, of thinking, why am I growing so slowly? Why are these certain things showing up again in my life? They told me I have such potential, but it's important for us to understand that although we may only be seeing one extension of the roots, one piece of growth, and one leaf in this very moment, that we each have this foundational belief within us, the roots of consciousness to lean into, to call upon, to command and demand to make itself known to us and through us, and it shall, because that's the way it works. It's important for us to remember that no matter where we're at in life, we must all begin right where we are. For most of us, we'll be compelled to begin our healing work with a mechanical process. However, we should take the highest thought that we have and attempt to enlarge on this consciousness until it embraces a more vital concept of reality. In other words, should we feel ourselves being in a state of darkness, no matter how long the moment may be, to then think of and know ourselves, to lean into those roots of the knowingness that we are light. And it's from there expand that until our consciousness becomes more prevalent in regards to the state of being of light, and then it shall bring to us, through us, an experience of light, of the reminder that it's all vibration of light and sound. This week, when I had a moment of not seeing the light, I went into a bit of darkness and opened myself up to light. And no sooner did I do that, buzzing outside my window was a hummingbird, a reminder of the miracles that exist before us and around us at all times. This quote goes on to tell us that consciousness, in this sense, this awakening, means an inner embodiment of ideas. If one wishes to demonstrate prosperity or peace or goodwill or kindness, he or they must first have a consciousness, in other words, a state of mind, of prosperity, of peace, of goodwill, of kindness, of a spiritual truth that light indeed exists. Now, this is more than faith. It's the knowledge that we are dealing with an immutable law, that what we desire to experience in life must take form as a result of our choosing to have a state of awareness and acceptance of that thing itself. And there are times in life where it is very moment by moment, while also there are times in life where it's a big, grand idea for all of us. But the role here is for us to engage in it. With this certain consciousness, maybe, well, a certain consciousness may be mechanically induced, of course. The more spontaneity we put into this mechanical word, the more power the word must have. And so today, as we're looking, as we end the month with Sunday and next Sunday, of pray, play, and slay, we're beginning to look at the act of slaying life itself, to begin to fine-tune our thinking into a new way of living life. And we just got a replication of that, or a duplication of that slide. So let's keep going till it brings us to the next most spontaneous slide that we're going to see in just one moment. That is an example of us being open to what's transpiring in life and choosing a state of mind to bring into being an action of praying, playing, and slaying, baby. We do that by leaning into spontaneity. Spontaneity is the best kind of adventure. And we speak of that not only in physical form in life, because we all have had those moments when we choose to be spontaneous. Last night we were leaving the dog park and a buddy of mine was like, oh, let's go have a cocktail somewhere and dinner. And we piled in the car and I'm like, here's where we should go. And we went to this restaurant. Everyone was all dressed and it was dinner time. And we were in t-shirts and shorts and grubby gear and dogs and leashes and had the most wonderful time because we were willing to go with the flow, if you will, to be open to having a moment of spontaneity and trusting that all is well already. Not that all will be well, that all in life is already well. Well, what is the meaning of living spontaneously? It is coming or resulting from a natural impulse or tendency without effort or premeditation, natural or constrained, unplanned, a spontaneous burst of applause, or a spontaneous moment of the willingness to tune in to the power of life itself, to align with light itself. To live spontaneously requires a deep-seated belief that anything and everything is possible within the realm of possibility, if you apply yourself fully and be open. The key is the willingness to be open while founded on a deep-seated belief that anything and everything is possible within that realm of possibility. And why is that true? It's because we live in a universe of abundance. We live in a universe of good. We live in a universe of the highest making itself known through us, whose qualities are peace, power, beauty, joy, light, life, love, and wisdom. Therefore, our role in this co-creative process is to believe that, to align with that, and then to allow it to reveal itself through us as often as possible. Meaning as often as possible, because it shall be a reflection or a respond or a correspondence to who and what we know ourselves to be. It's imperative, as it tells us here on the screen, for you choose to live in a state of spontaneity, to trust the process of life and go with the flow of life without second guessing yourself. And should you second guess yourself, choose to pull right back in and align yourself with knowing who you are. And then being spontaneous is all about allowing the detours and the randomness to come into your life. That's where the richness is. And so today, let's choose to command ourselves to know that love is the key that opens the heart, that hope is the dream that awakens the soul, and peace is the light that guides the way, and faith is the certainty that sees us through. Faith, that full assurance in the heart, that full assurance that love is the way, that full assurance that Spirit's got our back, baby. As small as a mustard seed can move mountains, it tells us in the book of Matthew in the Bible. Today, I invite each and every one of us to strengthen our faith musculature, as Marianne Williamson calls it, to be willing to push our faith to a bit deeper and stronger than ever before, knowing that life itself is for us, not against us. Let's all take a deep breath in and realize as we exhale that this power of the divine has never failed us, because it can't. Therefore, it never will. And let's let that be the faith in which we grow and lean into spontaneity in life, and to remember, as Lao Tzu tells us, that life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. I know for several of us it may be difficult to come back and be online this Sunday after being in person last week. And yet it's important for us to remember that we can do both. That to cherish that in-person time that we have together when we do that, and to cherish this together and know that each opportunity serves individuals in their own unique way. That this is a natural progression of spontaneous changes that is unfolding for us, and that it all shall be an experience in life relative to how we show up and see it, participate in it, and know it to be good, making itself known to and through us, good being made manifest in our life as each and every one of us, individually and collectively as a community. It's important that as we continue on this journey of finding our personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, to keep an open mind. We know what an open mind feels like and looks like, and we also know what a closed mind looks like and feels like. And of course, we all know that age-old quote of a closed mind is like a closed parachute. So today is the day for us to choose to be open, to be willing, and to be ready to pray, play, and slay, baby. To be willing as we navigate the changes of life, to see life through a new lens, to see it through a new viewpoint, both mentally, emotionally, as well as physically. To open ourselves to this new lens, bringing forth through us a greater sense of clarity of the opportunities that we have in life by being a conscious participant in living our life anew today. And we do that by leaning into the energy, the power, the presence itself that is vital within us. It's the very thing that is giving us life today. And so I want us to begin to look at what gives you life from an individualized perspective, building upon the reality, the spiritual reality, that the life has already been given to us. And so we get to individualize it and fine-tune it to our own likening, if you will, in life, that brings about through us and to us a greater experience of the expression of our peace and power, beauty, joy, light, life, and love. And in so doing, we propagate a field of good in the universe. So what is it that gets you out of bed in the morning to remember that you are the power and the presence and the purpose of life itself, living itself through you? Well, vitality, which is the pursuit of life, isn't it, Katharine Hepburn, should be a baseline for all of us to remember the gift that we have to have the ability to know who we know who we are, to express who we are, and to live life to the biggest and the most possible way for all of us, in the most grandest, most magnificent way of reflecting the power of spirit that it was in all of us. Rumi tells us that as we choose to do that, we shall be reminded that what we seek in life is seeking us. Holmes tells us that the law of life responds by corresponding. What we're being told in both of these is at all times there is this equal experience of life that's a reflection of our state of being in life. And so should we desire to have a different experience in life, is to remember that we attract it into our world by knowing that there is an equal vibrational frequency of that experience in life that is moving towards us as we open up to be and express that very energetic field in life itself. And oftentimes, what is required of us to have that experience is patience. In the Tao Te Ching, that asks us, do you have the patience to wait until your mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving until the right action arises by itself? What we're being told here is to remember that it's up to us to be open, to be willing, to make a new choice, to be ready to be renewed in the restoration of the power of the thing itself. But it's not ours solely to do, because the thing itself is always doing its thing through us. And so our role in this co-creative process, in addition to fine-tuning our mind and aligning it to the qualities of the divine that we're imbued with, is to be still, to be open, to be the light, and that in and of itself can be spontaneous. And then the clarity arises and makes itself known. It presents itself to us. It's not ours to present ourselves to it. It's allowing it to present itself to us. And in so doing, then we begin to see the reflection of the thing itself in all that is before us, because it's all an outer expression of the thing that's seeking us, that we are indeed seeking. In other words, to awaken ourselves to living life from a new perspective, to live with imagination, with intimacy, with love, with freedom, and to ask ourselves time and time and time again, what gives me life today? Both from the perspective of the energy of life, and then from the modern day slang vernacular of, girl, what gives me life? What brings you joy, in other words, in life? And those are the things to engage in life. Well, I think at a very basic level, we all know that there is this vitality within us calling us to express its unique, individualized expression of itself through us. The great dance teacher and choreographer and dancer herself, Martha Graham, tells us and reminds us there's a vitality, a life force, a quickening that is translated through you into action, and there is only one of you in all time. This expression is unique, and if you block it, it will never exist through any other medium and be lost. The world will not have it. It's not your business to determine how good it or you is, not how it compares with other expression. It's your business to keep it yours clearly and directly, to keep the channel open. You do not even have to believe in yourself or your work. You have to keep open and aware directly to the urges that motivate you. Keep the channel open. No artist is pleased. There is no satisfaction, whatever, at any time. And I believe she's speaking here, obviously, of the expression of art through dance, but it's also that thing that makes us unique in life, of how we show up, no matter what we've been, no matter what we want to be. the very things in life that are calling us to give and be the vitality of life itself. She goes on to tell us there is only a queer, divine dissatisfaction, a blessed unrest that keeps us marching and makes us more alive than the others. In other words, those of us that are called to the spiritual awakening, the expression of our uniqueness time and time and time again. It's that calling from within to live life, to tune into that which gives you life. And so today I want to remind us that we have vitality within us. Jose Ortega y Gasset tells us that human vitality is so exuberant that in the sorriest desert, it still finds a pretext for glowing and trembling. In other words, this vitality of life that is within us can bring light to us even in the darkest of times. That even in the most deserted, driest place where it appears that life can no longer reproduce itself, that we have within us this vitality of life itself. And so we're then called to give attention to the force of life itself. Attention is vitality. It connects us with others in life itself. It makes you eager, and so stay eager and constantly remind yourself on this journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual work awakening. You better work, girl. In other words, the journey that we're on is always calling us to tune in, to fine-tune, to tune in, to fine-tune, and then to tune in, and then to fine-tune. And even if this journey feels one that is quite lonely or lonesome, remember that we have opportunities in life to support us. One thing that gives us life are our friends. Friends give us life, and they're there for us to reach out to lean into, to communicate with, to be with, to give to. And to let these relationships of love that we have of those in our life be a reflection of the joy and the power and the presence that exists within each and every one of us. And so let's face it, friends, one of the things that reminds us of the happiness that is present for each and every one of us, the joy, the peace, the power, the beauty, the acknowledgement of life, is having dear friends. Also a reminder for us to remember what gives us life, and that we can remind us during these times of life when we forget who we are, that our pets, our four-legged spiritual offsprings, they give us life. There's a vitality within them that reminds us that this presence of life is ours for the living, and that joy makes itself known by means of them. And so let's open up and lean in to our loved ones that are not in human form, as well as the vitality that we have in life is not only the ability to persist, but the ability to start over. I know for all of us, it feels like when we walk into our houses, our animals start over each and every time, loving us anew. What a great example for us, if we have them, to use that as an example, and if we don't have them, to know that that is indeed transpiring out in the world and to tune into it. In addition to our friends and our pets, today we get to ask ourselves, what gives us life in other ways? What is it that reminds us of the vitality of life that is here so that we can engage in a new way, tap into spontaneity, and pray, play, and slay our way through life? Well, it may be music. It may be art and theater. It may be reading. It may be dancing. It may be sports. And it may be drag queens. And it may be exercise. And who knows, it may be camping. But all of these things are a reminder to us to continue this journey of finding our personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, through spontaneity, and let today be the day that we each start anew in this moment. Because that's what we're always doing. And if it seems like it's a difficult big step to take to begin fine-tuning our mind, remember that if all you can do as the next step in your journey is crawl as opposed to fly, start crawling, Rumi tells us. And to remember that as this week unfolds, if there are moments when we feel like we're growing slowly or even reverting backwards in life, that not only do we have tremendous potential in life, but we have these deep-seated roots in mind, the mind of God, that is infinite by life, infinite by nature, that is infinite, never ending, never beginning, and all of each and every thought that's ever been thought in life or can be thought is there. It's there not only for the quelling for each of us, but for the dwelling for each of us, and for us to open up and allow it to make itself known to us, through us, because that's the only way that it can. And so today, as we each and every one of us heed the call to step or crawl forward, let's remember that as we step into the unknown, we discover that it's okay that we can be fragile and strong and terrified and brave all at the same time. That the beautiful stained glass window that's in this beautiful slide on the screen that reminds us of the creative process through the practice of the science of mind is that we take what's going on in our conscious mind and open up to our subconscious mind, and it's from there we release, as we learned in the first week of Pray, Play, Sway, of the spiritual mind treatment of God is, I am, it is, thank you, I release. And it's as it moves down into the lower portion of the place where the V meets. It's in that dark, fertile soil of creation that it begins to do its magical, mystical, miraculous thing and brings back to us experiences in life that are a reflection of who we know ourselves to be. I affirm for each of us today that we know ourselves to be the power, the presence, the magnificence, the glory of the only thing there is, the thing itself, life. You're it, I'm it. Let's use it in a new way today. And so it is. Thank you so very much. I'll invite back to the screen Yaron to take us on more of a musical adventure.
All right. Let's hear a little bit of Stand By Me. Here we go. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. Oh, no, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. When the sky will look upon, oh, should stumble and fall, and the mountain should crumble to the sea. I won't cry, I won't cry, oh, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me, oh, stand by me. Stand by me, stand by me, stand by me.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love it. I love it. Stand by me. So, what a great song. And boy, it's withstood the test of time, hasn't it?
Yeah, love it.
Yeah. So,
You've
cool.
definitely
Thank you,
been
Yaron.
standing by me all these years. Thank you, Keith.
Exactly. Exactly. Shall we continue? Great. All right. So, now is the time in our service to support our community financially. I'm going to put on the screen the options to do that and to know that you're celebrated and honored and acknowledged for being a conscious giver in our community. The way to do that is you can go to our website, csl-la.org, click on donate, or go to the app in the App Store. Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles is our app, and you can click up on the upper left bars and it'll take you through a screen that'll come up for a donate tab, or mail in a check, or you can call me directly and I can take care of it personally for you. When we do that, Yaron is going to take us through our conscious giving song of Love is My Decision. And Yaron, take it away.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision, yeah. No one can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, Source will show me how. Love is my decision, yeah. My decision, right here, right now.
Thank you, Yaron, and thank you for being here. Really appreciate that, and thank you for moving stuff around in your schedule so that you could be here. And
Always my pleasure.
well, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so, as we say goodbye to Yaron, I want to thank all of you for being here today and to know that you're cherished and honored and appreciated and celebrated just as you are in life. A big thank you to Travis Smith, our audio technician, who takes care of us and keeps us in alignment relative to just that audio and sound and technology to the best of all of our abilities. And to know that Travis, you're celebrated and appreciated. A big thank you to Robert Hensley, who takes care of our social media and keeps us linked through Facebook. I know he's had challenges today. He's in Pennsylvania with storms there, and there's power outages, and he's been texting through the service. And so, Robert, be safe. And also a big thank you for being here. A reminder that this Wednesday morning we have a midweek morning meditation at 8:30. That information can be found on our website, as well as our e-newsletter that goes out first part of the week, as well as everything can be found on our app in the App Store, as well as you can find more information through our social media sites. We're on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube as well. Also, a reminder that our daily text and new thought for the day goes out at 7:30 every morning. Please make sure that you're getting those, and if you'd like to add people to that list, we can certainly do that as well. And thank you all that were there last Sunday. Know that it was such a joy and a pleasure for us to come together, and as a board, we look forward to providing that each and every month. That's how we're going to do it right now for a while and see how that plays out. And please invite your friends, and let's do our best to support this community as we go through what life is. So, without further ado, let's know that we close today with the power and the presence of love, making itself known in meditation. And then we'll say goodbye to those that are on Facebook. And if you're on Zoom, we can stay on and say a brief little hello to each other. So I invite you to anchor and ground yourself wherever you may be right now, as long as it's safe to do so. And to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. And let's know together that by divine appointment, we're exactly where we're supposed to be right now. that all circumstances and conditions and experiences in life are all just matter vibrating at a frequency that has slowed down enough for us to bear witness to them. And that's all that we allow ourselves to do, is to bear witness to them. Because we remember and know that we are not those things. That we're not just one with that which is greater, but we are the expression of that which is greater. And so we tune into the embodiment of its innate nature, of goodness and abundance and love and peace and power. And then allow it to reveal itself to us and through us in a new way today. And when I say today, I mean right now. And each moment along the way of the day. And so we remember that within us is a vitality of life. And so we tune into that with spontaneity. And we see it in our friends and our pets and all those things that give us life. And this causes a spiritual awakening within us. And as we tune into that on our journey of life itself, we become more personally self-empowered, meaning that we know that we know that we know who we are. We have faith in the creative principle of life itself. And we remember that this law of life responds by corresponding. And so then we raise our vibration and move forward, remembering at all times that the very things we are seeking to experience in life are also seeking us. And so we ready ourselves for the embrace into that experience, knowing it's an outer reflection of what has transpired in the inner of each and every one of us and us collectively. And so we continue on the journey, thought by thought, feeling by feeling, emotion by emotion, action and reaction and interaction by each of those, tuning into the essence of love, the self-givingness of spirit, whose desire is to create more of itself out of itself. And it is indeed doing that right now by means of each one of us. We celebrate it, we honor it, and we let it be. And indeed, so it is. Thank you all for joining us today. I affirm for each of us a blessed day, a blessed week. And remember, you are the power and the presence of love, making itself known completely and wholly by means of you. Have a great day.